All right, guys, I'm here. I'm finally on. Crazy. Our internet went down because of the high winds, and I got it back just in time. All kinds of crazy stuff. Okay, I see there's five people stayed on, so I don't know who the five are. Everything's good. Seven now. So I went and did my wax boil today and did 10 full hives. Right, Pennsylvania, you're still on. Maybe Joe still is on. Hey, Joe, if you are. And so that's good. And I went into my hive quickly today, but it was so windy, 50, 60 mile per hour winds all day. And I went and cut five cells out, but I dropped one, so maybe only four cells. And I smashed probably about five more cells. And I'll be grafting tomorrow. So the cell builder's all ready. I am going to go check them one more time tomorrow morning. No, I'm going to graft not tomorrow. I'm going to graft Thursday because it's supposed to rain a lot tomorrow. But if there's a 20 minutes of no rain, I'm going to go out there and double check because I did it pretty quick today because I was having internet problems. So that's all been taken care of. I had to call them, so I was on the phone. So, and I've been posting all that, so everything's good about all that good stuff. So sorry for being late. 15 minutes. So I see there's nine of us now watching. So everything's good. Anybody got any questions of the nine of us? That'd be great. Like I said, I'm going to graft 30 cells on Thursday. I put the frame in on Monday. So that's why I'm waiting until Thursday. Hopefully the queen goes on that frame. She had another queen, another frame that she could go on. So she might, depending on which one she picks, I'll be grafting from one of those two. And everything's looking good. It got up to 84 degrees today. I think tomorrow's only supposed to be in the low 70s and then up low 80s again Thursday. Then we're supposed to get some storms Friday, I believe. A little bit cooler, but not too bad. USB device. Now it's talking about my USB. All kinds of crazy stuff going on today. So up to 11 people now. Hey, Brian. Oh, my, okay, it just showed up. So yeah, so everything's looking, I mean, it's been crazy. Everything is blooming. Um, Service berries are blooming. All the wild cherry trees are blooming. The dwarf cherry trees, landscaping ones, they're all blooming. I mean, we're already done with all the maples. Um, I even saw, um, yeah, so a lot of things are blooming already. I looked at the AccuWeather and there weren't any freezes all the way to April 29th. We did have a 36 one morning. I think it's April 16th. They're saying it's supposed to go down to the 36. Hey, Collector Rick. Hey, Learn Farms. I'm glad everybody's starting to hop on. 17 people. I guess they're saying Tom's finally live. Yeah, stack silver, gold, honey. Today was a good silver day. I'm down to three bottles left of my 2025 honey. And I got about, I don't know, 25 bottles of my 2026 cutout I did in the middle of February. I did check that hive. It's three deep strong. So I'm going to actually split. Storms rolling through. Okay. So I'm going to make a split with them in about a week. Brian, you cut your third swarm today. Okay. I saw scout bees today on some of my I got three hives sitting in the bottom of my yard, and I went down there today. I got a bench there after I got done doing all my waxing, and I saw some bees flying around it. So I'm starting to see scout bees. That's pretty good. The swarms should be starting here, I would say, within the next 7 days, within the next week in Southwest Ohio. I saw some people down in central Kentucky saying they've got some swarms, so that's not too far. That's probably about a week's difference. We're supposed to get storms tomorrow, so I think it's supposed to start raining around 10 o'clock. So that's why I went out there real quick around 5 o'clock and went through the 6 frames. Really, only 4 frames of brood, and took one brood frame out and put it in a hive that needs a little help. Took the bees off it, and then put my blank frame in, so I know which frame to pull out to put my grafting frame in on Thursday. So I'm hoping I re-waxed it, so I'm hoping they start building wax on it the next 2 days, tomorrow and Thursday. So if I put my frame in the morning, I put it in like at 9:30 in the morning on Monday. So I plan to graft Thursday around 2 o'clock in the afternoon. So I'll make a video of that. I didn't do a video of me destroying the queen cells, but if I get a chance tomorrow, I'm going to go back in there. Hey, Brad, I'm going to go back in there and videotape that part of it. So, yeah, I bet you, Brian, in southeast Louisiana, you're probably right in the middle of the flow. Our flow started. I haven't checked. A few weeks ago, I checked the brood, the boxes, not my supers, and they already had 2 frames filled up with honey. So I did do demery on 3 of my hives, and on Thursday after I graft, I'm going to do a demery on that hive. So that'd be 4, and then a week from now, yeah, probably right around a week from now, right around the 8th, um, depending on the weather, 7th, 8th, or 9th, I'm going to go into my other 10 hives on my other property, and I'm pulling out nukes, and I'll be putting these queen cells in. So if I go 8 days from now, well, 8 days from Thursday, so whatever, let me see what that is on the calendar. 8 days from Thursday, that'd be 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. So I'll probably wait till about I'll pull the I'll pull the nuke on the 6th or 7th, and then on the 13th, I'll go in there, um, cut out or kill any of the queen cells, and then on the 13th, that'll be day 13 um, on the cells, and then they're pretty pliable by then. And I'll go ahead and place. I'll probably wait till they get emerged. So on the 15th, when the queens emerge, I'll mark them, and I'll put one in each one of those 10 hives, and then I'll do a demery on them because they right now each one of them has at least 8 frames of brood, 7 or 8 frames of brood in there. It's more than 6, so I'll just do a demery with a virgin queen, and then when I go to check them, well, I'll wait 14 days, and then after she emerges, when I put her in, I'll wait 14 days and then check. That's my game plan. So I gotta do a little schedule. Hey, Ravenshire. So I gotta do a little scheduling, write this all down. But that's approximately what I'll be doing. So around the 7th, I'll be pulling my nukes. And then around the 13th or 14th, I'll be putting virgin queens in those 10 hives, and I'll put them in a demery. and I'll wait 14 days and then I'll go check. Um, Actually, I might wait 21 days and then I'll go check, and hopefully then I'll see at least one frame of brood, and I can move at least. I'll probably just leave that one frame in there. Probably, I probably won't even do Demery on them. I'll just wait 2 weeks, 3 weeks, and then I'll do the Demery on them. A little late. Right now, they got at least one box on them. I'll put another second box of super on them. So I'll probably just do the Demery on the 4 hives I got behind me, and that's it. Because by the time that mated queens, that queens get mated and she gets laying, it'll be 30 days from now before I get a couple frames of brood. So that'll get me. We'll be in a full flow by then, but that'll still give me May and June for flow. And they'll be pulling, they'll be bringing honey in while she's getting mated and starting to lay. So just be a little bubble there, about 1 week bubble, a week and a half bubble, 2 week bubble. So that's what my plan is doing. So I'll just do these 4 hives here for Demery, and then I'll treat the other 10 on the other property normal, since I'm pulling nukes out of them. Not making then my hives. I have one in my 6 frame that's 3 boxes high, so it's got 24 frames right now. And then I got a big hive in my big horizontal hive, the second one, the one that's back there, that one right there. That's got a big hive in there. I'm going to do a big split on that. I'm going to totally split it. That's the queen that swarmed them. That's my VHS queen that swarmed on me from Corey Stevens last year. So she'll swarm on me this year. Hey, Billy Lee. So I'm going to split her. I'm going to move her to my purple horizontal hive. It's a 20. I got 4 24 frames in there, and I'm going to make 3 more splits out of that from her if she's got enough brood. I plan on taking 2 brood frames, take her with 2, and then make 2 brood frames and a food frame for each one of those 3 splits. And that'll get me. That'll be 5 of the 7 will have hives in my split. If I can split another one, I'll put one next to her where she's at, and that'll leave me just one spot. And then I got the 3 other hives for swarms. So that'll be getting good. And then I got my other apiary. I got 4 swarm traps, and I just did the wax boil today with those. So those will be ready to put swarms in them whenever I catch swarms. I'll catch at least 3 of them out in Indiana. Probably, well, I got 7 traps in Indiana, so I'll probably catch 5 to 6 swarms, maybe all 7. I haven't. The most I've ever put out was I was 4 for 4. I've never tried 7. See if I'm 7 for 7, but within a mile and a half of each other with traps. So it's starting to get really busy. So if Brian is still on here, um, I started my wax dipping boil at 15 minutes, and you're right, about 10 minutes the film starts coming down. So I boiled all but the first 2 rounds at 10 minutes versus 15 minutes. So the study that he used is more correct. 10 minutes is a good number. So just want to give everybody a heads up on that. Has anybody got any questions? Brad, how's everything going down south for you? Good videos been putting up a couple times. I know you and Joey's been putting some up. It's all really good stuff. So I'm only going to do splits on those 2 hives. So probably going to fill up all my horizontal hives between the 2 hives. But the other one I'll split up pretty good too. And then if I catch swarms and I fill up my other three local here in Cincinnati, in the greater Cincinnati area, I got four traps out, um, plus four hives out. So I got eight traps out. So if I catch any swarms in the greater Cincinnati area, I'll probably just take the queen and a frame that they bring of food, and then take the rest of the bees and throw them in the splits to help boost them up a little bit. Maybe I'll get a little bit of honey off of them. So I like using swarms just to get more bee number in a hive. I use a 55-gallon steel drum. So good question. So I use a barrel. I posted on, I did 3 or 4 YouTube shorts on it. It's a 55-gallon steel drum. I can do 1.5 deeps at a time. So I put a deep down in it, then I put another deep down, and it holds it to one down. While that one's doing, I can go up a little over halfway, and then I put the next deep in and I flip that one around. So I can do 1.5 at a time. Hey James. Hey Dennis. Hey, I'm Brian from Baker's Bees. Yeah, got up to 18, even though it's 15 minutes late. So it works good. I mean, I only do 1 or 2. I still have 4 more hives that I did not wax boil. 1 8 frame and 3 10 frames hives that when I go to sell them, they'll have the option if they want to paint them or they can buy my wax boiled dipped ones. And I'll just charge them $15 more for the wax boil, $5 per box, basically. Hey, Russell. So that's my game plan. And my actually tomorrow I got to start going over my presentation because on Saturday I'm doing my free bee class at Holzer Hart Hackman Garden Center. I went to school with both Mike Holzer and Mike Hackman in high school. So they went together and started a nursery I guess, out of college. And they've had this garden center since then. Really good garden center. So I do classes there, and they bring flowers in. I reference, you know, good trees and what plants to grow to help the pollinators. So it's a win-win. They get a bit more business, and I get to train about 20 people how to become beekeepers. It'll be this coming Saturday, a Holy Saturday just before Easter, then the following Saturday. And that following Saturday is just a continuation of last Saturday. Usually about 25% of the class is this carryover from the first class. So I'm really busy. And I know by then I'll be getting, I put money on it. I'll get a swarm call either Saturday or Sunday during Easter, 4th or the 5th, because they're coming. These are the best ones because these are the big ones, big ones. So I've starting to see a lot of drones walking around in the hives. I see them walking from the on the platform. I haven't seen any fly in yet, but I haven't looked in the last couple of days. They should be flying within the next week also, which is a pretty good sign that the swarm season's starting. So nothing new with the land behind me. I'm going to wait till next winter, probably next February, and then I'll talk to Kevin and Jennifer. That's the name that live behind me, and see if they are interested in selling the property. All right, Dennis. So, wow. So you got 6 mated queens on a split. How many splits did you do, Dennis? You're 6 for 6 or 6 for 7? probably 6%, 6 for 6 or 6 for 7. And you've been busy. 7 swarms from Wednesday to Sunday. Wow. Well, I know in a week when it hits me, it'll be uh it'll be something like that, one every other day or one every day or two a day. We've had so much warm weather. It's unbelievable how much everything's blooming so fast. Crazy. 12 splits. 12 splits. Okay. So you got 6 made it out of 12. Is that after 14 days or 21 days? A lot of times those ones, you get a lot of them at that 21 day versus that 14 day. I don't think she missed any swarms. She got 7 of them in 1 week or half a week. One. Oh, that's funny. Yeah, I've already had one. I went and got a swarm and they were going down, they all went down in my box. I was just waiting for the last few bees and then they all decided to leave and they flew off. And I was looking for the queen, but I never saw her. So I could cage her as they were going into the box. But it was in a big sticky, it wasn't a rose bush, but it was really gnarly and it wasn't very easy to get into. It was down, deep down in this bush that had a lot of needles in it. Hey Clay, good to see you got on. Yeah, we got 19 now, so that's not too bad. Hit the like button. I don't know where we're at on that. I have to do a refresh. Well, up to 14 out of 19. Thank you. That's not bad. 75%. So I hope, Dennis, you get the other 6 out of your 12, or you end up 11 for 12 or 12 for 12. Clay, did you get your work done? I got my work done. I waxed up 10 hives, one 8 framer, and then the rest of them are 10 framers. And each one consisted of a solid bottom board, 2 deeps, a medium, and a lid. So pretty busy. So 4 of those hives will go on the other down Indiana if I catch swarms, and the other all the rest of them are for sale. So when people, because last year I had 2 or 3 people ask me they wanted me to buy woodenware with the nuke. So if I have that same deal, um, I'll be doing pretty good. So I did sell all my overwintered queen nukes that I wanted to do this year, so I'm good for that. Then basically these 30 queens, I'll be doing more splits. I need to catch some swarms so I can do some splits when they emerge out around the 15th of April. 2 pounds. Wow. That's nice, Russell, helping Tritone out. So 2 pallets. That's a lot. That's a lot of woodenware. Yeah, my little 55-gallon steel drum couldn't do well. You could do 2 pallets, but it'd probably take you 2 days. Well, I did 10 hives, so that's 30 boxes and 10 of the lids and bottoms. So that's probably 1 pallet. And I started at 7:15 this morning, turning the burners on. And hey Keith, and then I started boiling about just before 9 o'clock, maybe quarter till nine, 10 till 9, and then I finished around 2:30. By the time I cleaned up, though, it was 3 o'clock. So time I got the everything put away. Sold two splits without even trying. That's cool, Clay. Yeah, that usually happens to me. So that's why I got these extra hives this year, so I can start selling them. So I'll bring it up in a class on the next 2 Saturdays that I have woodenware with frames or without frames that I can sell to them. So I got to come up with a price though. They'll get a discount if they buy a nuke from me. I've run into a couple swarm cells already, but just they're just starting to make them. In fact, none of them had one of them had an egg or larvae, and I can't remember. And one other one was empty. So they're just starting to build swarm cells. When I checked all my hives, all 14 of them. I didn't check the other two that's in my backyard because I'm going to be doing splits on them. And hopefully they have swarm cells. In fact, hopefully, but I'm going to probably check them Thursday because grafting will only take me half an hour. So the rest of the day, I'll check those two hives and see if they got swarm cells. And if they're not capped, I'll wait a week or a few days and then check them again. Check about every 3 or 4 days until they get capped. Then I'll know how old they are. And I'll make my hey Lisa, hello. Then I'll make my splits then. So I'd rather do and but I really don't need to because I've got all these queens. So I will have some queens for sale um in right around the 15th, 14th, 15th of April. So I got one person that wants a few of them. And graft them from hive number 13. That's the one that's got the owl sitting on top of it. Um, Actually, tomorrow I get to update my picture too. Three of them being in the demery with all the boxes on it. So that one that's the one I'm grafting from. That's my VHS queen from last year that did not swarm on me. And it's a big hive. It's really two boxes are jamming on it. But I know they can't swarm because she's stuck in the top box with a queen excluder on it. So she's not going anywhere. Well, I also got to check my other Demeray hives Thursday for cells. This will be Thursday will actually be day number 9, not day number 10, day number 9. So a couple days late, but I too busy today and it's going to rain tomorrow. If I get breaks tomorrow, I'll check those demo rays tomorrow so I can concentrate on grafting and making grafting and checking demo rays if I don't tomorrow. So yeah, everything's been pretty good. So 18, oh, 18 thumbs up out of 18. Can't beat that. So anybody got any questions about what's going on? I even noticed my white oak tree is dropping its leaves, and they usually don't drop them. Just started today dropping them, and they usually don't drop them until about the middle of April. So we're running probably 2 weeks early. It's amazing because winter was so late this year. It's like winter turned off and spring turned on right around the beginning of March. Crazy month. Like I said, we had a frost A freeze actually got down to 29 degrees, but it didn't bother the red buds or the serviceberry. Yeah, everything's going up north, Russell. And like I said, it's kind of missing now the central part of the United States, or just the tails come through, and it's just one day, and it gets down to maybe 39, 40, 45 degrees, but then it gets back up to 60 degrees during the day, and then the next day it's back up to upper 70s and 80 degrees 2 days later. That's what we've been running. Yeah, I think our calendar is off by 2 weeks. You keep adding these leap year days, and they probably should be taking days off. I think they do that just to screw everybody up. It just seems that way. But who knows? The calendar's all screwed up anyway. It's not a very good calendar. That's a whole nother subject. Yeah, we it was blowing here. We had a couple winds that were over 40 miles per hour because my solar panels go flat when it gets over 40 miles, sustained over 40 miles per hour. And we had one, it was so bad. I was wax boiling and I had to foam about 6 inches from the top of the um, barrel, and the wind came across so hard it was spitting wax out of the barrel out into the woods in the backyard for about a minute. We had a gust come through. It had to be 60-mile-per-hour winds. Couldn't believe it. And of course, I had my lid where it was throwing the hot wax, so I couldn't grab the lid and throw it on there real quick. It's supposed to be windy tomorrow too, when the rain comes through. They said around 10 o'clock it's supposed to start raining. So I don't know how much time I'm going to get working on the hives tomorrow. But typically this time of year, the storms will come through. We'll have in half an hour of storms, and then the sun will come out the next hour. We don't have the continuation. Yeah, I mean, people always say, Tom, aren't you concerned about grafting? It's going to get cold. I actually would rather be a little bit cooler versus 80 degrees, 60, 50, 40 degrees at night versus because that box is packed. I mean, I put 4 frames of tap root in it with the bees, and I shook 4 frames of bees into it. Two at the site, and I did two of them yesterday. Um, so it's a pretty. My 6 frames got 8 frames of bees in it. If anything, it's always hot inside. It could be 20 degrees out, and it'll still be 95 degrees in that box with that many bees. So it's not a problem. Now, when the queens start emerging, when I take the cells out, then I like it to be at least 65, 60, 65 degrees or warmer. So the when I graft, the larvae aren't exposed to cold air. You can put a warm damp towel on it, but that only works so good. But it's supposed to be 80 degrees Thursday, 81, 80, 84, I think is forecasted. So by 2 o'clock in the afternoon, it'll be close to 80. So I won't even have to worry about throwing a towel over them unless it's windy. And it's not supposed to be. Yeah, well, I had Hive Alive left over. I bought too many boxes 2 years ago, so I had a box and a half left over, and they all got Hive Alive for the winter time. And then I put a global patty on them the first week of February. So when March 1st came, my hives were already jamming pretty darn good. So a lot of brood. I mean, I had 6 brood frames when I checked on them 3 weeks ago. So you can't beat that. I do have one queen, hive number 13. She was a new queen from last year when I swarmed, and got little sinuses going. Um, she doesn't seem to be taking off real good this spring like all the other hives are, so I might be pinching her. But I did, I mean, she's doing all right, just not enough. She's just a little slow. I'm going to give her a little bit longer. I just gave her a frame of brood, a cap brood all the way across both sides, solid. So that's going to really double the numbers on them. You know, I did crack all my top boxes of my Demerig today. So if there's any drone broods up there, they can get out and fly. I just put a little shim underneath them. That's it. Just enough, just enough, like not even 3/8, just quarter-inch shim, just enough so that the bees can, drone bees can get out. So, so 2 more days. April 2nd, graft day. That's pretty much right on schedule. I usually graft between the 27th of March to the 4th of April. So I'm right on schedule. All right, Clay. Sounds like you've been busy. Yeah, my back's a little tight. I'm just picking up boxes, putting them in the boiling wax, taking them back out, putting them on the rack to dry, to cool down, I should say. Not really dry, cool down. The only thing I got left to do on them is there's still some heavy spots of wax. I just got to take my um, 5-in-1 tool or my hive tool and scrape off some excessive wax areas in a few areas of the boxes. Just got to clean them up a little bit. That's it. So I don't see anything else really going on. I don't see any real questions. Anything about grafting or making splits. I do mark my virgin queens when I let them emerge out of my incubator. Well, thanks, Dennis. Yeah, and what I really like about wax blowing them with microcrystalline, in a year or two, they darken up a little bit and they really look nice. So yeah, so they're ready. Like I said, I just got to clean them up a little bit, a couple of heavy spots that where it doesn't drain, mostly on the bottom of the boxes. I let everything drain down to the bottom because that's where they sit together and that's where they like to rot the most. They get the most best effects, extra wax on them. So those boxes should last 50 years, way past my time. I don't, no way I'll make it 50 more years. Probably 30, maybe 30, 25 years to 30, 25 years for sure. Get me up to 90. So I hope to still be beekeeping when I'm 85 years old. That's my game plan. Maybe until I'm 90. I have an uncle that's 91 and he still drives. He still walks. Um, he can go up and down slopes and stuff like that. So he's doing really well. And supposedly I'm a lot like him. That's on my mom's side of the family. So yeah, let's see how long I make it. 91, 92, 93. All right, 11 more. See you later. Yep, be cool. Tomorrow won't be a problem, but grafting day, it's going up to 84. That'll be pretty warm again, like today. My house was 75 degrees. I didn't turn the air conditioner on. 75 is good enough. I usually drop about 2 to 3 degrees. I got a little flea in here. I probably brought it in today. 2 to 3 degrees during the nighttime. So tomorrow morning will be about 72. And the high tomorrow is only 71 or 72. I'm not even exactly sure. Let's see what the temperature is tomorrow. It's 77 degrees out right now. And Wednesday's supposed to be 73. Yeah. So then 84 on Thursday, 77 on Friday, 78 on Saturday. That's when we're supposed to have the big storm, 4-4. And then 50, a high Sunday, a high of 50 and a low of 34. So Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, cold. It's good. Easter, only high of 50 degrees. So PM thunderstorms on Saturday. And the big in 1973 was April 3rd. So April 4th is right in schedule for Tornado Alley. It looks like a pretty big 3 days where it's going to be in the 30s for the lows. So it looks like a pretty big storm coming this Saturday night in the Easter. Not good timing. So what's it supposed to be like on the 15th? I didn't check that either. 15th. I'll go to AccuWeather for that. Hopefully it's going to be warm. 13th, 15th. 62 and sunny on the 14th, 69 and sunny on the 15th. So that'll work. And warm after that. So when the Virgin Queen's ready to fly, it should at least be around 70 degrees plus or minus 5 degrees or warmer. So that's cool. Hey, Russell A. Hey, Travis. So I don't know how late I'm going today. It's been a busy day for me. In 7 o'clock to 3 o'clock, tipping boxes, wax boiling boxes. Anybody got any questions? Let me know. If anybody wants to hop on, you're more than welcome to hop on. Oh, I never posted it. That's something I forgot to do too. Kind of late for posting it. All right. Now I can pin it. There we go. I'm only an hour late pinning it. Should be pinned at the top. Oh, it didn't pin it. Reposted it. What? Okay. That's weird. Well, it's posted at least. Yeah, so everything's going real good. Everything's going as planned. Um, my neighbor that complained has not been home very much. Her mother passed away and had a cottage on Myrtle Beach, um, out on the East Coast there, and they've been going out there a lot. They're out there right now. They left during the weekend and guess this whole week. And maybe I get lucky and I move out there. Then I can buy their house and take the take part of the property. So I got 5 acres and then sell the house. How many splits am I doing this year, Dennis? I want to do 7 splits out of 2 hives. The hive that's back here in this horizontal, the lower roof one, the one right there. And then right behind me is a 3 hive, 6 frame box hive that I'm going to make at least 7 splits. And if I can get 3 more, I'll do 10 splits. And then I'll put my virgin queens in them that I get. But not many people talk about this. The first time your cell builder makes cells, they will not make as many as you put in there. If I put 30 cells in there, I'll probably only get 15 to 20 on the first time. Now, the second time, if I put 30 cells in there, I'll get 30 cells. But the first time of the year, it seems like the bees need, the bees need to practice. But I just made a whole bunch of emergency cells. I mean, I cut 5 and I destroyed at least 4 that weren't capped yet, and I destroyed one trying to cut it out. So I think they made 10 cells altogether on 3 different brood frames. So they had their practice. So maybe I'll do bet. I mean, I'll get 28, 29, or 30 out of 30. So, but I won't be doing that many splits. I'll be doing 10 splits at most out of those 2 hives. I don't want to split any of my 4 hives I got in my yard, right there behind me on the stand. The ones right here. My finger works right there. Um, and I don't want to split any of the hives, the 10 hives on the other property. I'll be pulling nukes out of them, and they're already sold. Out of those 10 hives, at least 9 of them were sold. And I want to make about 3 more other splits to put cells in them because I got 2 more sold to a friend of mine. He's up in north. Up. He wanted one of my daughters of the queen versus an overwintered queen. So I'm going to make at least 9. I want to make 12, probably 12 splits. Hey, ripple effect. So a bunch of basically 3 frame splits, 2 brood and a food frame on every one of them. I can do up to 31. I got enough boxes for 31 or 30, yeah, 31 or 32 splits. So pretty, but I'll be doing that. My big time when I do most of my splits is 1st of June, early June. That's when I do all my summer solstice queens. And this year I'm doing something a little different. I'm going to take my double screen boards. I got 12 of them right now, but I'm going to buy 4 more real soon here. And I'll have 16 of them. So I'll have 4 on my property and 10. Actually, I'll buy 6 more of them. I'll have 10. I mean, I'll have 12 of them on the other property. And I'm going to take those. When I take off my Demery or my second box, I'm going to put that box on my double screen board. And then I'm going to put virgin queens for my summer solstice and all them. And I'm going to put a medium super on top of them. So after I pull all my honey, I'll take the bottom box and the bottom super. I'll keep on that hive, and then the other deep box and the other medium super on there, I'll take off, and I'll be putting summer solstice queens on them on double screen boards. And then I'll feed them. And then when I'll feed both sets, my 16 hives and then my 16 splits, basically. And I'll have plenty of bees because these summer solstice hives will be 60, 70, 80,000 bees. So each one, there'll be full boxes. And then I'm going to move those when it gets cold, probably right around Thanksgiving or 1st of November, depending on how the winter goes. I'll pick those double screen. I'll put the shim on the regular 16 hives. I'll put all my food in there, and then as late as I can go, I'll take those double screen board hives that'll be sitting on the ground basically on the board, and I'm going to put them on top of all the hives over winter, and I'll have a shim on them also. So the old queen will be down the bottom, and the new summer solstice queen will be up on the top. That way, the following year, I can in 2027, I can take those 16 hives, or if they all survive, if I can wait long enough, or have enough food, I'll make sure there's 5 pounds of they're full, and I'll have 4 to 5 pounds of food on top of them. So when I go to look at them in March, um, we finally get good weather, February, March, they have enough. I'll have those 16 hives. I can sell them as nukes, and then I can just um, take the double screen board out and combine the hives together. And I'll already have my new queen. She'll already be laying. And probably right then I'll be able to do my demery too, by the end of the month. So, hey, Joey. So they'll be all set up for the demery. So I'll be even in better shape next year. So 20 people, I'm getting more people watching. I guess Bob's not on tonight. Hey, Joey, why don't you hop on and see what's going on down in your neck of the woods? I posted the link. So it's pinned to the bottom instead of pinned to the top. So that's weird. That's different. I like that better, pinned to the bottom. So that must be a StreamYard YouTube. That must be a YouTube change. StreamYard to YouTube change. Yes, he's on. Okay, Clay. He's probably got the Canadian people with him. They're always on with them. All right, it's pinned to the top. All right, on my it shows it on the bottom, so that's weird. Thanks, Travis. It's supposed to be on the top. So yeah, so everything's going good. Hopefully everything's going good for everybody else. I think at 9 o'clock I'm going to hop off. We can all hop on to Bob's. I need to get a drink of water. I was on the phone trying to get my internet up and running. I'm in the green room. Oh, okay, Joey. Yeah, I got a purple room right now. 2 grow lights with my tomato plants. So, before you know it, at the end of April, a month from now, I'll be planting my garden. Actually, potatoes I'll be planting here in probably about a week to 2 weeks. I got the bed moved. I moved my big potato bed made out of cedar boards, those fencing cedar boards. And I need to buy a bale of straw and some dirt and mix them together, throw it in there and plant some tomatoes in it. Oh, he's waiting. Hey, Joey. Sorry.
Hey, that's okay. It happens to me too.
Yeah. So, how's everything going with you?
Oh man, I'm wore out. I've been working in the rain today.
Okay.
Every I've been trying to finish up my splits in my big yard. Every time I'd get to the bottom box, it'd start raining. I had to cover everything up and run to the under a tree or in the truck. They'd quit, sun come back out. I'd run back out there and start trying to split them out, do whatever I had to do. I fought
Right.
it about 2 o'clock, and I finally give up. It started thundering. I said, I ain't doing it no more. I come in
Gotcha.
and rested.
So there's storms in the south and the storms in the north, I guess. And and I'm in the middle, and it was nice. It was just windy. That's why it's so windy. We're getting storms on both ends, and I guess I was blowing all the winds right in the middle of the
Yeah.
country.
You ever notice
Just
how
like,
when you light a smoker, no matter what direction the wind's blowing, it's going to come toward you?
yeah,
Yeah, the flame and everything is going to come toward you no matter which direction you get in.
yeah. I had that today at my barn. I had to move closer to the barn to try to get out of the breeze, so I could actually get the smoker going. Because I
Yeah,
went
that's
into
the
the
way it
cell
is.
builder, but I didn't have. Yeah, so Lake Erie's getting storms too. Like I said, storms up
Are they?
in the north, the Great Lakes, and then you're getting storms down in the south and nice in the center.
Yeah. I, you know what? I've always enjoyed selling nukes. I don't know what your topic has been today. I just got in here trying to finish the video up and I rested on it and I said, Tom's on. But I I think I say this every year. I think next year I'm not gonna try to sell too many nukes. I'm gonna try to figure out
Yeah,
another
well,
way to
I'm trying to sell a little bit more, and what I was just saying before, I
you
got
can come get some of
12
mine.
double. What's that?
Said you can come get some of mine then.
That's too. That's a long drive. I don't know if they'll make it
Yeah,
back.
yep. I'm gonna try to figure out another way. I may go back to my old way or something when I wasn't selling nukes to try to
You can do
just
the
slow the bees down till the flow gets started, you know?
you can do the vertical split.
Well, yeah, that's what I used to do. And it really works real well for you if you're not trying to if you're just trying to make up for losses over
Yeah,
the winter losses and get back to your number. That works real good. But hey Keith, when uh
yeah.
when you're trying to make nukes for people, it's starting to throw a lot of work on me. It was easy to start with, but now it seems like the responsibility and with the health and the weather and everything else, I'm just working too much. So I'm gonna try to make it fun again.
Well, I'm going to put 16 double screen boards. So when I pull all the honey, the hives are really big, and then I'm push them down into two deeps. I'm going to go ahead and split the top deep off and graft ahead of time so the queens are ready about when I go to do that. And then late uh, fall, winter time, basically, I'm going to put the double screen boards on top of my other hives, my existing hives, overwinter the old queen in the bottom box and the new queen, summer solstice queen in the top box. And then the following year, I'll make my split, but I'll take my nuke from the bottom box and then just combine the two hives back together.
Yeah.
So I'm going
That's that's kind of that's kind of the way our mentor taught us. He used to do the double screen, the vertical split, and his magic number was 200 hives. And
okay.
he was in his late 80s when he was doing this, but he liked to keep
Wow.
200 hives. He never sold bees. He didn't sell queens. He didn't sell packages. He didn't sell nukes. He sold honey, and he moved a lot of honey. But he would do that vertical split, and what he would do the 15th down here, the 15th of January, he'd rotate his boxes, and he would do that 2 brood cycles ahead of when we normally split here. He'd rotate around January 15th ish,
Okay.
and by the time it got, we had drones walking and everything, he'd go through about March 1st and start doing those splits, and he'd let them make their own queens. Well, by the time the queen cells or the emergency cells were made, you had queens drones flying by then. And
Right.
once he went back to check his sales, any losses he had over winter in those 200 spots, he would move those top boxes. Most of the top boxes had queens in them. He'd move them to those spots. And once he got those back to that 200, anything else, he pulled that double screen board and just, if he didn't find the queen, he didn't worry about it. If he found her, he'd probably pinch her, and let her
Right.
make a new queen. If he didn't find her, he just pulled that double screen board, put it back together, and let nature take its course. And it done well for him.
Right.
And I'm thinking about going back to that. I make a little bit of money on the nukes every year, but is it if I added up the hours that I spend making nukes and trying to make honey,
Right.
uh, I'd probably be making 0.25 cents an hour.
Yeah.
With the time I'm putting in it, but
For the hours, I make a lot more money on honey the first I do doing nukes.
yeah,
I,
it was
I,
fun to start with, and I made a little money with the nukes, but it has turned into work for me. Now, just like Shy Weave said the other night on my live, it might have been after, it might have been before we got started with the live. I'm not sure. Anyway, Shy Weave don't do honey, very little. He'll get a little. He has to move out the hive, so he'll spin it out and he'll sell it to a few people close by. But that's not his main thing. His main thing is making nukes. So when you do one
right.
or the other, it's real easy. But when you combine in both of them, it turns into a little bit bigger chore.
Yeah. It
And not,
triples, I think.
yeah.
And if you're selling all these bees, it's hard to make honey because you're taking too much resources from the hive.
Mm,
Yeah,
yeah.
there's a guy, JC Bees. He used to put content out all the time, but he kind of stopped. That's north of
He
Dayton, and
posted
that's
a
all he
video
does.
today.
What's that?
He posted a video today.
Did he?
I got
Okay,
a notification, but I hadn't watched it yet.
maybe I got one too. But that's all he does is nukes, and he's got
Yeah.
3 or 4 benches with probably 12 or 20 nukes. I don't know how many nukes he has, and he just sells nukes.
Mike don't want to buy none. Russell Mike don't want to buy none of my hives. He's got all he can handle right now. I probably
Yeah,
could
and I
have
only
sold a
lost.
few of them earlier this year, but I didn't try to. I should have. I may do that next year. I may start selling some hives before I even start splitting.
Yeah, well,
I had a good I had a good winter this year. I didn't lose a lot during the winter. Most of my losses
I
were
only
early
lost
fall.
2. So I
I
don't
don't
need to
have
make
do what?
I don't need to make that many splits to make up hives, but I do have some new hives I'm making, so I got to do a little bit.
Um, I've run out of room in my main yard. All my rails is full. I got one spot and I don't know what I'm gonna do with that. It's where I was keeping all my extra boxes.
Yeah,
Uh quick answer, Ripple. No. I'm not anti-treatment.
yeah, I'm the same way, Joey. I'm not anti-treatment either, but I don't treat either.
If I think I need to use a little OA, I got it up here and I'll use it if I need it.
Right?
It's about all I do.
Yeah, ripple effect's the same way. And I have hives in the city of Cincinnati. I have hives out in Indiana where it's farmland. I have hives around me that are in woods, forest area. It doesn't seem to make any difference.
Yeah. Well, I don't really like to talk about treatment or non-treatment too much. I like to learn about it, but I don't see that many losses compared
Right,
to when I was treating all the time, working myself to death and spending all my money.
right,
And if I don't see the difference, why do it? You know what I mean?
right. That's kind of how I fell into it. Plus, when the inspector would come out, he wouldn't find any mites on my on my hives.
Oh, I'm sure you're gonna find some on mine, but it is what it is, you know.
Yeah, I think maybe 20 years ago, 10 years ago, it was for most people you had to treat. But I do think the genetics have caught up to handle mites if you got good genetics. You got to have good genetics, though.
Yeah. Um, I don't know what kind of genetics mine are. I just let them be what they're gonna be, you know.
Right, but
I do as we talked about the other night on I think it was Brad's. I do kind of like to bring in new genetics sometimes just to kind of mix it up.
right, that's how I am. In fact,
Yeah.
probably probably about another year, I'm going to bring some few Russian queens in. I haven't done that like in 5 years, 6 years.
You know what? I've been thinking about that because now this I mentioned this before. I worked last Saturday week at it was a beginners class, and the guy that's running it, he's actually the president of Mississippi Beekeepers Association, and he's got a local club right here. That he's I don't know if he's the president now. He was, but he still pretty much kind of runs it. And he put on a beginners thing a couple weeks ago, and he's got Russian. And man, when I was working them things, those bees they just stayed in the hive. They wasn't
Yeah,
flying around you and you know like all the talk I hear about the Russians all the time. And he may have a special genetic. And I told him I wanted some of his bees, so I may try to get
well,
some bees from him sometime
yeah. When
in the
I
future.
had them 5, 6 years ago, when I would pop off the inner cover, they'd fly up a little bit. If I
Yeah,
would just if I would just step back for 30 seconds, they'd fly back in, and they were just like what you said. They would just be in the hive, and I could do anything I
yeah.
wanted.
I don't know
All I
what
had
it
to,
is about my bees this year. My bees has always been pretty good, you know, pretty gentle. I mean, they get a little upset with you, but this year they just all been mad at me all this whole time. They're like in my face, you know, and I even have to wear gloves. And normally I don't even work with gloves. But they keeping
yeah,
me in gloves this year, and I don't know if a bunch of them got requeened, you know, in July after I pulled all the honey off, or it's just something in the air. Don't know what to say about it.
yeah. I noticed my hives are a little bit more antsy so far this year than past years, but I can't say why. So
It
I've
may
been
be
putting
the
a stick.
weather. We've been cloudy almost every day I've been in. It'll sun will shine a few minutes and then it'll cloud up. March
Yeah,
probably.
that does. Hey, Mark Miller, that doesn't help any.
Yep.
It
But
does make a difference when it's sunny out.
if they just give me a few more days, I'll be out of their way.
Well, I'm just starting to get in their way.
But
Next,
I've been letting them make their own sales this year, and normally I like to go back and check for sales, but I've been so far behind that I only go back and see with a couple hives. I check for sales. The last video, but
yeah,
I'll be going back and checking to see if there's a queen in there laying. I just been too busy.
right.
It
Hey,
could be Russell. Could be what it
Mark's,
is.
prob- Mark's probably close to getting queens in the oven.
Yeah, he's working on them.
Yeah, it could be the winter bees left over. No, your winter bees are probably gone. I probably still have winter bees, maybe.
I still got some old bees. They meet me at the door when I get out of the truck.
That's probably what it is. Got to wait a few more weeks. You got to get some 2026 bees. Get rid of those 2025 bees.
Ripple, it's not really a walk away. It's kind of a walk away. I pull nukes out of my double deeps and put them on top of a double screen board. And if I can get cells in time, I'll put cells in them. If not, I have eggs in there where they can make their own. You can go watch some of my videos and see what they do, what I've done.
There you go. Mark's done his second graft today.
Yeah.
And I'm doing my first graft Thursday.
I really don't. About 3 days, and that's it. We probably had a bigger winter this year than we've ever had as far as cold weather.
Yeah, we're in the top 10. I think we're 7 or 8 coldest and 7 or 8 snowiest. But when it stopped, it stopped. We used to get our biggest snows in March, and we got like 2 dustings, and that was it. The first week of March, and that was it. Then it's been really nice after that. Here comes the question: how many cells? Probably not enough. I put 5 cells in the incubator today. I cut them out from my cell builder.
I got some queens from Mike Berry. I don't want to talk about too much because I've got a video coming out. But one of them, I put in one of my nukes that I made, and the next day or 2 days later, I went to release her, and she was dead. So there's probably a virgin running around in there, or they had started their own sale and didn't want her, or something. I don't know what happened, and she
Yeah.
might have just died. I don't know. So anyway, I cut some cells out of another hive that I was splitting that had swarm cells in it and stuck one in there. Or it was actually what they call the twins. It was triplets, and I cut them off the frame and knocked the middle one down and put the two in there just to see if they killed it too. I'll check it maybe tomorrow and see if they killed that cell or accepted it.
Sometimes they can get finicky.
Oh yeah, you never know why they do what they do. You just have to kind of keep testing it and see what happens.
The only thing you can do is first thing in the morning or at dark, take that hive. I mean, during the middle of the day, not just the opposite of what I want to say. During the middle of the day, when they're all flying, take that hive and move it and put a different hive there. So you get rid of all these old bees.
Yeah.
That seems to help sometimes.
When I was working today, I said if I videoed this, nobody would understand what in the world I was doing because I'd go in one hive, and I got a little rail with nukes sitting on it, and some of them may or may not have enough brood. And when I go through one and I find the queen, if I find that queen, I'm gonna steal some of her nurse bees. So I go shaking nurse bees off in front of those nukes and letting them crawl in those nuke boxes, and they'll just
Right,
right up in there. And I'll do what I got to do in that hive. And if I find another one, I go shake some more somewhere else. Everybody would say,
right,
"Man, that dude's gone crazy." But I'll take brood from one queen and give to another. I just this time of year, I'm just mixing it all up.
right. Well, today I took a frame of cat brood and put it in hive number 14. It's not as big as it should be. And when
Yeah,
it all hatches out here in the next week, it should give it a good boost.
I don't know. I don't know where they getting all this nectar from. We got a little bit coming in, or I see some blooming, but I'm telling you what, our cells are starting to fill up. They are filling it up now. I put honey supers on some of them.
Yeah, they find it. I don't know where they find it. I already had one
Great.
hive that's on my other property. Already had 7 frames of pollen.
Yeah.
It's like I took all the pollen and I put them up above it. I hope they use some of it. There's Mark.
I just wanted to show that off. I love this bag. This is a good bag.
That's cool.
Most places you get an old plastic bag. When you buy Easy Ops, you get a good bag. Hey, Mark.
Hey, Mark.
Hey Joey, hey Tom. So I got home about 5:30, 6 o'clock, and I ran out there and got a graft done. Uh, it was pretty bad. I went through 4 of my uh, queens that I wanted to graft from. Right, no eggs. They just quit. I don't know if they're chasing around, what's going on, but I went through 4 of them before I found one to graft off of. So anyway, I better hurry up.
Wow. And it used to be in the flow right now.
I had nectar in the honey super 2 days ago. Today it's dry. That quick.
Wow.
So
Yeah, I mean, I checked. I put a frame in 3 days ago, 2 days, yes, 2 days ago, because I'm going to graft on Thursday. And I pulled out a couple frames and it's like, oh, I could just use this frame and graft right now. But I didn't.
but anyway, I
Here,
got it done. Have y'all ever dropped a cell in a big double deep hive and with any success?
a big double deep.
I have had
Um,
trouble with them. I have, um, I've done it and had success, and I've done it and had to do it 2 or 3 times. They ended up dividing the boxes in half and weakening them down, and
Yeah,
yeah.
make them finally take something.
right.
Mark, what you could do is move that hive one spot and swap it with another hive during the middle of the day. So at least that hive doesn't have the old bees in it.
Yeah, that's a good
And
idea.
then try it.
Yeah. Just take it somewhere where there ain't no old bees
Right.
loose.
Now, the Mark, this is what one of the beekeepers that um is near us here, and they work like 11,000 hives.
Mm-hmm.
And he said that he's learned that he could actually put a cell in a queen right hive with if it's got an old queen in it, and they'll leave that cell alone, according to him, and let that queen emerge, and she'll go kill that old queen and take over the hive.
That's what I'm
He's figured out
thinking,
that
Joey.
will happen. I
Yeah,
hadn't tried that since he said that,
I
but
want to
he said,
try it. I feel
I
like
would
it'll work.
definitely put the cell where you got all your brood, so that at least those nurse bees could protect it from those older bees.
he
Yeah.
said that. When he said that, I was kind of surprised putting it in a queen right one. You know, I can understand doing that to one that something happened to the queen or you.
Well, the queen's just shut off. I don't know if the queen's in there or not, but there's
Yeah,
no eggs, right?
yeah.
So
Right.
there, I don't know. There's no swarm cells.
Something might have happened to her.
I could have killed them, but I don't know how. I could have killed 4 in a row.
Yeah. That's weird. You used to have
Yeah,
used to have eggs.
there's larvae and it's fed good, but no eggs. I even put a flashlight on them. I didn't see no eggs, and I went through like 5 cones before I didn't see them. So I just shut it down with the next one. I even went to the bottom, and the next one still didn't see eggs. There's larvae. I mean, they just shut off.
Huh.
Don't know
I was
why.
gonna say maybe they swarm, but then you'd have swarm cells.
The only thing I've done to them was just I shook nurse bees out of them. That's all I did. I weakened them down by taking nurse bees out of them to make a cell builder. But they shouldn't have just
You didn't
shut
shake the
off. They
queen.
should have.
You didn't
They sh-
shake the queen, did you?
no, no. I know I didn't shake the queen because I didn't got cells. Yeah, that's all I did. But that shouldn't have shut them down.
No, and you didn't shake out all of them.
Right. Just 2 or 3 frames out of each box. Wasn't much. I don't
Yeah,
know.
that's kind of
It's
strange.
kind, you know, it's kind of odd to see something like that. I've seen that once, but it's kind of odd to see them. Usually, once she lays in a swarm cup, they'll start pushing her around and not letting her lay.
Right. Once you
And,
start getting swarm cells, but
yeah.
there's none in there.
Let me take this call. I'll be right back.
No.
All right. Yeah, I can't tell you, Mark. I mean, that doesn't make sense.
Uh-uh. Don't to me either, really.
If you had one hive, I could see it. Maybe something happened to the queen, but 4 of them?
Yep. Now, all 4 of them are old queens, because that's what I was gonna rear queens off of. So they could
Hmm.
all just played out at the same time.
Yeah, maybe they're finished and they work. Maybe did you find any drone brood? A whole bunch of that?
There's drone brood in there, yeah. But I mean, it
Yeah,
ain't overloaded with it, but it's normal.
maybe that old queen. You had 4 of them that all went for shot,
Yep.
and they
That's what
could.
I think.
Yeah, and they couldn't make a emergency cell or a queen cell
Because
because
I
they
had my
cut right
fingers
on the.
crossed, Tom. I had my fingers crossed, hoping they'd make it long enough for me to graft off of them. That's how old they are.
Gotcha.
Okay. So that's possible.
I think you ran into some bad luck there.
Yeah.
I've
But
I've
anyway,
had that happen before.
yeah.
You find a queen and she's not laying, and she's my old queen. And
Mm,
there's pretty many drone cells. I wouldn't say a ton of them, but pretty many.
yeah.
So
My uncle,
I think
my uncle called me. He said he's watching a video on Direct TV, channel 276, Secret of Bees. Thought I might be interested in watching it. I'll have to look it up, see if I can watch it later.
the secret of bees.
Yeah.
Mm.
The
Well,
secret
I
is,
got a phone call coming in. I'm gonna have to call this guy right quick. He's going to JW's with me in the mornings. I'll, if we got time, I'll come back on here.
All right.
all right.
All right, we'll see y'all later.
Some of these people just don't know we're trying to talk on live. They won't call us. Hey,
That's pretty good.
what's
Yeah,
Raven got here?
Joe, I don't know if you heard, he did say all four of those hives had really, really old queens in them.
Okay.
They probably just quit laying. They quit laying fertilized eggs and started laying drone eggs. And by the time they realized it was too late, I've had that happen. They never made. They didn't make a new queen or nothing. They just let the old queen go. They didn't
Yeah.
supersede her or nothing.
So
Maybe when he
sometimes
shook
they
the
do that. I
nurseries
don't
out
know.
of them,
I don't know why they do that sometimes because I've seen a good layer be superseded, and I didn't know why they were doing that. And I've seen them with one that wasn't laying good, and they never do anything to replace her.
yeah,
And I don't get that. I don't know.
I don't,
I just don't know.
I don't get that either, Joey. That's kind of like hive number 14. I don't know. It was a that hive swarmed on me on May 7th last year, but they made it through winter. So I just think they started out a little small and just going.
I think sometimes they might be just satisfied with what they got. Uh, they probably only try to replace her when there's some kind of genetically, uh, some kind of genetic problem.
Right,
If it, sometimes it may be just what's coming in, and she's not laying much because they're not bringing a lot in, or what they're bringing in is not that good.
right. So yeah, I don't. Yeah, I haven't had that run into me lately, but you're right. I've already had queens that they just keep, and then you have ones that are rocking, and then they replace her.
Brent, you talking about the video he just called about, or the show he just called about? You can watch it on YouTube.
You can you can you can find that video on YouTube. Okay.
I'll look it up there.
Yeah. You know what? I watched the program the other day on YouTube. It was about bees. I don't know if that was the title of it. It was about all bees. So I'm
Yeah,
not sure.
that's what I bring up when we do the classes, the second graders and third graders, elementary, when they talking
Yeah,
about their pollen. They do a little thing on insects and pollination and everything, and then we kind of come in afterward and do our little thing on honeybees. But that's one thing we bring up with all the natural pollinators we have here in the U.S. that are already here and do what they do. I asked some of them the other day. I said, "What bird is a pollinator?" And every one of them threw their hands up. The whole crowd threw their hands up. They knew it was a hummingbird already. So
yeah.
I
That's
thought that's
cool.
pretty cool.
They should be showing up around my area in the next week.
Yeah, they'll be here any minute now.
Yeah, or you probably already have them.
My wife hung the things up um, last week, but I hadn't really looked. I hadn't been around too much to look at them and see what's going on.
You've been making splits, Jerry.
Yep.
I don't put a hummingbird feeder out, but I usually see them. Yeah.
I hear people complain about bees getting in their honeybird feeders or coming to them. And I can tell you right off what's happening. They mixing their sugar water way too strong.
Yeah.
They putting too much sugar in their water. That's the only thing that draws those bees is that strong sugar water.
Right.
They
Not
can't get
following
in.
the instructions. In fact, that reminds me, I got to buy some sugar. So when I make these splits or have these new queens, I can feed them. And I'm at the splits next week. 'Cause I'm out of sugar. So I got 5 ones that are just frames. I don't put any frames in there. I'll just shake some bees in there and get some mated queens to sell,
Yeah.
or to get ones that I don't make, the ones that don't make it for me. That only cost a few bees. Brent, yeah, Brent had a question. Yeah, Brent, that's a fit. That's just a steel barrel. You don't have to buy stainless steel because it's got wax on it and wax all over it. It doesn't rust, or it hasn't yet. And I use propane, one of those Brunson round round ones that's got a ring in the middle and a ring on the outside, like an X. I forget who makes it. It's a big burner. I went through a whole tank, 20 pounds of propane today. So yeah,
How
just a
many
steel
pieces you
drum.
get done?
So yeah, I mean, I think I spent $10 for the drum 5 or 6 years ago. The most expensive part is buying all that microcrystalline. It's not cheap. So,
I've got some wax dip lids I bought from several different people over the years. I got some wax dipped lids that are warping. I don't know why they're warping. They kind of just come
um,
warping in the middle.
I don't know the name of the burner. I've had it for like 20 years because I used to brew my beer with it. But it's a burner that's about close to a foot diameter circle, and it has an X, like a star pattern inside of it.
Hmm.
It's a big burner. I want to call it a Brunson burner. Let me
Yeah,
see if I can find an
it's a
image of it.
plywood. Yeah, I don't know. I don't think it's HDO, but it's a plywood.
Gotcha. Yeah, it's not your regular turkey fryer burner. It's a bigger one. Well, here it is. It's a banjo burner, high pressure propane, banjo burner. So I found it. Well, I only do one and a half 10 frames at 10 frame deep at a time.
Hmm.
Um, in that barrel. So one buried, and the other one holding it down because they float. Um, So 1.5. If I'm doing mediums, I can put deeps or lids to the side of them. Mediums, I can actually put in long ways. Deeps, I got to put in short way into the barrel. So it's just big enough. I mean, if you seriously want to do a lot of wax boil dipping, you need something bigger and something rectangle versus round. But it works. A banjo type burner
I bought
is
a,
what I have.
I bought a crawfish pot back in the, it was probably in the late 70s, early 80s. And it had a ring all the way around that burner. It had a good burner on it, but it had a ring around it that would keep it from spread. It would make it bounce back down instead of letting it wrap the pot.
Okay.
I had a guy rebuild it, and he took that ring off of it and lowered it where that flame could actually wrap that pot like it's supposed to. And man, that thing works so much better. It'd probably work good on a. I know it works good on crawfish pots. You can get water hot easy. It'd probably work good on a wax burner too. But the way they had that
Ripple
ring
effect.
on it, it just kind of deflected the flame downward instead of letting it go up. You know what I mean?
Right. So ripple effect, I was able to do it in that 55 gallon steel drum. I was able to do 10 hives today with 2 deeps and a medium, bottom board, and a lid. And it took me basically the whole day, 8 hours basically to do it, but I was able to do 10 of them. So doing 1.5 at a time.
That's not bad.
No. So I took one little lunch break, about 30, half an hour long, 40 minutes long. That was it. So, all right. Yeah, I don't know if I could share this or not. Oops, not that. So this is it. Let me see.
Yeah, Ripple, I just soon just pay somebody to dip boxes and I'll buy them from them, and I'll be done with it. That's a lot of extra work.
It's just a regular steel barrel. Yeah. I don't know what was in it, but guy, I bought it from a guy that looked like it was brand new. And yeah, you can find. I mean, you can probably get one for less than $20. So somebody around your area has them that they use them to put food in them or transport something in them, and you just clean them out.
How do you lower them down in there?
I just I wear rubber gloves and I just put them in there, and then I put another box on top of it to hold it down, and I can get
Hold
half of
it
that
down.
box. Yeah. And then I put another one in, and then I flip the other box around, so I get 3 boxes done for every 2 heating cycles. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So 1.5 deeps at a time, or 1.5 supers at a time. And I can usually throw a bottom board or a lid in with it. So I don't have to do those separately. I can just do them at the same time. Dry tone tank, yeah. I don't need to, I mean, I only need to do that many a year unless I start selling them. Then I'll have to invest into some bigger tank. But you can buy commercial stainless steel tanks pretty cheap too, and convert it into one. I mean, you just got to be creative sometimes. What you want to find. So here's the burner I have. If I can show it. Let me see there.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Yeah, it's a good burner. So I bought that a long time ago, but that's basically what I bought. All right. It heats that wax up pretty fast. The one I got's got legs and everything, so it's a little bit better than that. It's got 4 legs. But it's that kind of burner. I don't think they make it anymore. I don't see it. I don't see it on a Google search. The particular one I have. Actually, Clemens. This might be it. Actually, here it is. I did find it.
Russell
Let me
said they
post.
did
Let me.
some 4-way pallets.
This is exactly what I have. Let me present this one. To hit the right buttons. Oh, it's not showing up. Let me see if this works. Oh, here we go. This is what I have. This is exactly what I have. So it's got the legs. It's got the similar burner. Well, it's similar to this, but it's got a stand and everything. It's got the air ports on it, just exactly what mine is. The burner's slightly different. Well, no, it's the same thing. That's exactly what I have. So it's $100, but it's out of stock.
You see how you got those 4 brackets coming across?
Yeah.
That's kind of the way mine is now. But before, it had the brackets and it had a ring on top of it, and that ring was
Oh,
throwing the flame away from my pot. So I had a guy redo it, and he totally removed that ring and just had those 4 brackets right there to
gotcha.
set the tank on or the pot on. It made a big difference on how that thing heats. It was deflecting the heat away from it.
Gotcha. And I took 3 concrete bricks, 1.5, I think it is, and I put my tank on top of that, and my burner slides right underneath it. That way I can pull it in and out when I need to use it. So it's a brewer's best element propane burner. I have no idea what I paid for it 20 years ago.
I bet it costs more now.
So this is it. Mine's just like that one. I guess Mark's not getting back on.
I guess he got hung up on the phone.
Yeah. And I was
What
going
temp-
to end it at
what temperature
9:30.
do you run your wax?
What temperature? 300 and something. When it starts boiling, that's when I dip them.
Yeah,
I don't know what that is. I didn't measure it today. I used to
ADC.
measure it and I don't measure it. Once it starts bubbling up a whole lot, that's when I put it in. I think it's like 320, something like that. 330.
Now, what waxes do you use?
I just use microcrystalline.
Okay.
I used to do a 60-40 mix with paraffin, but paraffin makes your boxes slippery.
I think a lot of people's they got away from that. What is it, rosin? Right?
Yeah,
They got away from that a few years ago, and then they quit the paraffin.
I'm
Some
pretty
of them.
much the last 3 years I've bought nothing but microcrystalline. So I might have a little bit of paraffin left in it, but not much. And I'm not buying paraffin anymore. Eventually it'll be all microcrystalline.
It
It
looks
gets
a
in the
lot
pores
cleaner
of
with
the,
that, don't it?
it's cleaner and
Cleaner
it's a
look.
finer, it gets into the pores better of the wood, penetrates better. Well, Joey, I started at 7:30. It's been 2 hours. I think I'm
Okay.
done.
All right.
Well, thanks for hopping on. And guys, I'm going to end it here. It's been a little over 2 hours. So everybody have a great week, and I'll see everybody next Tuesday.
See you later, Tom. Appreciate it.
Yeah,
Let
see you,
you
Joey.
come on.